Aloha, everyone. Michelle Melendez with Blossom Inner Wellness and standtogetherhawaii.com. And it doesn't matter if you don't live on the islands, you can still join us because I'm going to be sharing information about freedom and just different actions that we can take, not just here in Hawaii, but also what you can do in your own state and maybe even in your own province if you're not in the United States. So this video is going to be going over, I'm going to be sharing a lot of Rosa Koire, and I hope I'm saying that right. She is a NSA forensic commercial real estate appraiser specializing in eminent domain valuation for 30 years. And this is how she recognized what people have been saying is Agenda 21. And if you're somebody who works in the city and you're like or like a legislator or somebody who's new to this information and you're just like, oh, Agenda 21, that's total commercial conspiracy theory, blah 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 blah. It's not called that in legislation, in planning. It's actually called sustainable cities. That's the agenda. And so I'm going to do snippets of 4 videos. And thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the person who sent me these. But if you're watching this and you know who you are, because I finally been getting to all of the comments and the emails. It's going to take me a while to get through them, but please know I am looking through those. I'm going to spend the next few days going through those. So anyway, let's just get started. And I'm going to do a screen share. Here we go. If you have anybody who's questioning things, this is a good video to send them.
The 21, because it is the agenda for the 21st century. That is what it's called by the United Nations. It's a blueprint. It is the action plan to inventory and control.
Sorry for that.
All land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all destruction, all information, all energy, all means of production, and all human beings in the world. It is a totally comprehensive plan.
So I'm going to stop share for a second. What I'm going to share with you is quite disturbing. And I just have to say this morning, I was getting anxiety. So, and that happens for me. And then I took a walk and I'm putting my feet on the ground and I'm like, okay, Michelle, where are you at? What do you know to be true? And for me, I know that this world is not where we came from. We didn't come from these bodies. We came from something else. And I know some people are like, Michelle, leave the woo-woo out. Leave the new age. This isn't new age. This is ancient. This is ancient information. And the reason why it's so important for me to share this, because all of us have anxiety. All of us have emotional trauma from all of the stuff that's happening. The earthquake in Morocco, the fires in Maui, the fires in California, the fires in Australia and Canada, they're burning us up. So but here's the thing. I'm going to share at the end the power that we have and why that's so important. It is so, we have been programmed to not think about this, to not recognize that we are way more powerful than this agenda, like super powerful. This is why they put fluoride in the water to dumb us down. This is why the food is literally poisoned, because it's making us sick. Because if we were in our true health and our true power, we would blow them out of the water. They would be a little fly we just flick, off of our fingers, because that is the frequency and the emotional power that we have united in a higher frequency of love and compassion and also peace and trusting, surrendering to this higher power. That's how powerful we are. So I just wanted to say that first, because this is kind of a lot of heavy stuff. So just hold on, okay? Here we go.
Yes, it's a trick. We'll just do what we can with the fabulous technology of our 21st century here. It is a transition from representative government. Now this is serious. It's a transition from representative government to government by unelected boards and commissions.
So that is what the Hawaii governor has done. He has he has appointed these boards for the housing in Maui that are unelected officials. More and more times that's what they want to be doing.
It is truly an erection of a shadow government, of another layer of government, of a parallel government. This is what it is. It is an erasure of jurisdictional boundaries. It is a loss of private property rights, a loss of sovereignty, both personal, physical sovereignty, and physical sovereignty in terms of our nation. And it's a loss of our freedom. So of course, we're going to be concerned about this, all of us, not just as Americans, but as free human beings. Agenda 21 Sustainable Development was signed onto by 179 nations, including the United States, in 1992 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, at the Earth Summit, the United Nations Earth Summit. George H.W. Bush committed the United States to implementing sustainable development, and it has been supported by every president ever since.
So I wanted to stop there. And again, we have to know what's happening and what's coming in order for us we can stand up against this. More and more people around the country are standing up against this, which is phenomenal. So I'm going to go to the next part, which is 1758. We'll start there.
When you recognize, though, that what this is about is an inventory and control plan. Inventory and control. So what's unsustainable? According to Chairman Maurice Strong, the middle class affluent lifestyle that you either enjoy or aspire to is unsustainable. Single family residences, private vehicles, air conditioning, appliances, meat eating, that went over real big in Texas, I'll tell you, livestock, dams. You like to golf? Golf is unsustainable. Many, many other things are unsustainable. It's a long list. Now, this is the way that we live in this country.
I'm going to stop there for just a second. So what is she saying? She's saying that in this sustainable cities agenda that we know as Agenda 21, which actually they moved it to Agenda 30 because they're behind schedule. They're behind schedule. So I hope that saying the agenda thing isn't going to get this booted off. But anyway, what she's saying is that we middle-class people are in there as not being sustainable, which means they're going to be attacking us and air conditioning and gas. And I'll be sharing something else that she shares about that as well. Oops, I forgot to do screen share. Thank you for staying with me, everybody.
When you think about the impact of a document like that being accepted in our nation, then you begin to be able to put into context what our loss, our crash of our economy is all about. So there are three, they call these the three pillars. There's three, they have kind of a logo of Agenda 21, and it's sort of a Venn diagram. You might have seen it. It's three interlocking circles, looks like a piece of the Olympic symbol, right? And it looks like this, actually. It's three circles, and it's social equity.
And I'm sorry, you guys, she's talking to the state capitol. She's at the state capitol, Concord, New Hampshire. That's where she's speaking. So she's actually speaking to legislative body in New Hampshire.
The environment and ecology. Those are all in balance in the center when they're balanced. That's sustainable development. Everything's in balance. Social equity, no one has any more than anyone else. The environment and the economy, social equity balanced together. This covers economics, housing, transportation, land use, health, water, energy, food production, and population control.
Population control.
China was one of the 179 nations that signed on to Agenda 21, and they have their local Agenda 21 document in which they state that they are working on a sterilization vaccine with the United States.
Yes, she just said that. I'm not going to go into any more than that. Okay, this next part is about mind control. Let me do a stop share. If you guys watched my video yesterday with was that yesterday? Can't remember. It was either yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday with Matt, with Captain Matt, Fire Captain Matt, and he was talking about mind control and the television. It's the frequencies. It's a frequency wave. One of the reasons why I kept saying, I said, you know, why do they keep showing the buildings dropping down after 3 months? Why do they keep showing that? And it's because that is you're being hypnotized. So when they repeat something over and over and over again, that's hypnotizing you. And if you've ever been hypnotized, which I have been hypnotized before, you don't realize it. You don't realize it's happening. And so that's the next part that I want to share with you. And this is 2450.
We've got here, we've got a situation where our country is about to change radically. And the President's Council for Sustainable Development, they said, you know, the people, when they figure this out, they might not like it. They might get a little upset about it. They might feel a little bit manipulated. So we want to bring them on board. We want the people to feel that this is their plan. So they did something else. They commissioned another book. It's called Sustainable America, A New Consensus. Now, I know you know all about consensus. Consensus means you get a group of people together and you hammer out an issue. You work out what you think about it. Everyone's voice is heard until you can work out a program that you can all agree on. But a new consensus is neutralization of the opposition, neutralizing your enemies. New consensus uses a RAND Corporation mind control technique. This is being used in government meetings all over the United States right now. You go to a visioning meeting, you are being Delphi. This is the Delphi technique developed by the RAND Corporation in the 1950s, 60s. What it does is it brings a group of people into a meeting, brings them to a predetermined outcome while giving them the impression that it was all their idea. You can Delphi one person all the way to the entire world. And the entire world is being Delphi right now.
Okay, so I want to show you guys one thing about Kona. Let's see, is it here? Okay, I'm just going to go here. And it is mapping, where did it go? Mapping the future of Kona. Hopefully that'll come up. I had it up, background information, mapping the future of Kona. Just wanted to share this with you because what she's talking about is she's talking about a system that actually is having people think that they have input into what's coming. So okay, oh, you know, hey, you guys, like they put out a thing. Hey, everybody, community development plan. The community came together to develop this plan, when really this plan was already put in place, and the community was just there to go through the steps. Here's what she's talking about. I'll show you down here. This is May 20, 2008, community plan development plan for Kona. So it's just a couple pages down. You see here, it's this one. So what she's talking about that this system does is it breaks out people into tables, and it actually puts up all the something that kind of shows, hey, you guys are helping with this, but it's already preset. There's actually people in here in these tables that are assigned to go into the tables and to run the meeting, and they're given, if they're a local person, they're given kind of information of how to guide the information, the questions, and the contribution that people are going to have. But here's the thing: This Kona mapping is already preset. This is a game, an illusion that people actually have a choice and they're actually able to help, create something. So if this isn't, they have nothing to do with it. It's already predetermined. That's what she's talking about. And then I want to go to 2715. Thank you for staying with me on this. I know this is cray.
Those plans are being rolled out all over the United States right now with a deadline of 2013. You'll find them all over the United States.
And again, they're behind, and there's a reason why they're behind, and I believe it's political, but I don't really want to go into that because the agenda is still running here.
Here it's Granite State Future.
Oh,
see it.
So she's talking about these. I'm going to go through these. She's talking about Granite State Future. This is the sustainable plan for the Granite State, which is, okay, what is that? Rhode Island? I don't know what that is. Don't laugh at me because I have a United States education. New Hampshire. So this is Granite State Future Sustainability Program for New Hampshire. And
one Bay Area,
that's
one
this
valley,
one.
one vision, 5 states, one vision, 6 counties, one vision,
One
our
valley.
Florida, our future. It's all over the United States. What is
Our
the big
Florida,
deal with this?
for our
It
future.
does not allow for dissent. I don't know about you, but I am proud to be an American. And that First Amendment means something. We have the right to speak freely. When you implement a policy that does not allow for dissent, when you've got the new consensus, when you use a communitarian technique that vilifies, marginalizes, mocks, and shames anyone who stands up and says that they do not like this plan, that they do not want to support this plan, then you find yourself knocking on the door of the American Embassy late at night when you're blind, crawling through the bushes and trying to get to a free country. And we have to ask ourselves, what is it that separates us from a country like China? And that is our ability, one of the things is our ability to speak freely. So this plan that's being implemented across the country is designed to stop dissent.
So I wanted to stop it there for a brief second, because our Constitution is so under attack, and we do not. This is what Captain Matt he taught me, was the Constitution doesn't give us our rights. God gives us our rights. We have these rights at birth. Nobody can take them from us. The Constitution protects our rights. That Constitution that people fought and died for protects our rights. This is why, when everything was being mandated and we had all those mandates of wear the mask and social distance and not able to have more than 10 people assemble, which the right to assemble, I believe that's also in the First Amendment. This is what happened. I did a health summit, and at the end, 5 people got arrested, but all of those people held their ground that they did nothing wrong, and the charges got dropped. And now what's happening? In Maui, they've taken off the freedom of the press and freedom of speech to go in, and to freedom of your own property. They've basically seized people's property because they're not allowing them back into their own property. That's against the Constitution. If people wanted to take them to court, they would win. If we had a good and fair and right judge, they would win that. But now what's happening in New Mexico is, let's see, did I bring it up here? Oops, sorry about that. Let's see here. I wanted to show you guys this one other thing about New Mexico. New Mexico sheriff. Because everybody, if you haven't heard, the sheriff just tried to take down the First and Second Amendment, mostly the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. There's a reason why, oh, I don't have a screen share. There's a reason why our Constitution is free speech first, and then right to bear arms second. Okay, there's a reason why those two are in place that way. And let me see here. I want to show you what he says, because I freaking love this sheriff so so much. And if we had a sheriff here in Hawaii that like they do in New Mexico, we sure wouldn't be in the position that we're in right now. People we definitely wouldn't have their property seized. And where is it at? Okay, come on. Next, a sheriff refuses. Maybe that's it. So I wanted to show this to you. If you haven't seen it, if you have, it's still really good to see, because this guy stood up and he took an oath to defend and support the Constitution, and that's exactly what he's doing. That is exactly what he's doing, and it's 38 seconds in if it ever opens up for us. I'm not going to edit this because it takes forever, but maybe it won't come up. Okay, maybe I'll have to look at that later. Okay, next part for Rosa. We did mind control, and now we're going to do change, which is very interesting, what she has to say about change.
Change. Change. Remember the title of this book? It's Model Statutes for Planning and the Management of Change. Now that is a jargon term. Yes, I said I'm a liberal Democrat, but I did not fall for that change thing. That is rhetoric. That is a manipulation. Because change is a jargon term. It means something entirely different to people who are running this plan. It means the word transformation and change means destruction of what we think of as our American system.
Yeah. So okay, so here's the thing, stop share. Here's the thing you have to understand. We as citizens, as people, as living men and women of the United States, we believe that certain words mean certain things, but they don't. And if you go to standtogetherhawaii.com and you join the email list, click on join here. It's in the upper right-hand corner, it's a blue button. I'm going to send you out emails when we do our Freedom School to give you guys more information of how we've been enslaved for a very, very long time and what to do about it. But one of the things that people don't understand is that language is important. You are not a person. You're not a person. You are actually a living woman or a living man. That's what you are. God didn't create people. He created living women and living men. That's what God created. That's what we are. So we don't know, we don't understand that they actually changed the words to mean different things when they put them into documents. So that's super important. Like the word virus. Did you know that the word virus is Latin, comes from the word toxin or poison? That's what the word virus comes from. That's why detoxing when you're sick, I know I'm off topic, but I just wanted to say this, detoxing when you're sick is really important. Anyway, let's go back. Okay, so we did mind control, we did change, then we're going to go on to video 2, and we're going to do the planners. The reason why people haven't heard about Agenda 21, you'll go to your legislative body, oh, I haven't heard about that. Here's why.
They are inoculating elected officials. You will hear planners come and tell you that either they've never heard of Agenda 21 or there's nothing wrong with it. The planning is great. Regionalization is a good thing. That is what you're going to hear. It's
I'm sorry, I forgot to screen share again. Let me do that.
Economic driver. So what's this about? How does it come together? We're talking about greenhouse gas emissions as the mask for this, because they say life in the suburbs and the rural areas is unsustainable because we release too many greenhouse gas emissions, right? It's that evil sprawl, which I have to tell you is probably the entire state of New Hampshire. Okay? Now they say it costs too much to get public transportation out to the rural and suburban areas, so it's better to move all the people into city centers and pack them into smart growth. What's smart growth? It's ground floor retail, 12 feet high, built right to the edge of the sidewalk. 1, 2, 3, or more stories of residential above, could be condos or apartments. Around the back in an alley, got access for parking for 1 car or less per unit. Out in the front, you've got a bike lane. You have traffic because you have done your traffic calming, and you've got a median. And on the other side of the street, it's the same. This is, you might have a transit-oriented development system there. You might have, call it a transit village. Used to be a city, now it's a transit village. Doesn't matter whether you actually have real transit, it could be planned transit. Because with your sustainable community strategies, you can use transportation dollars to subsidize for-profit housing.
Yeah, so they want to actually change our cities into these corridors, which I showed you in a video that they actually had a corridor, the corridor transportation system in Maui was going right through Lahaina city, right through Lahaina town. They had a $500,000 grant for this corridor. So Hawaii Island, I'm sorry, not Hawaii Island, but Hawaii Islands, the state has these plans in place, and your city or town, wherever you're at, probably does as well. And I'll share what we can do. So please don't freak out on me. And anxiety is a normal human feeling. There's nothing wrong with it. Keep breathing through it. Okay, we're going to go on to the UN land policy. And this is the reason why I wanted to share this one, is because what's going on with the land in Maui. It's pretty, I love these people. And anyway, it's gonna work out for all of us. Let's just keep going.
Now, the United Nations.
I'm doing a screen share. I'm doing a screen share. United Nations, she said,
has a land use policy. They came up with it in 1976 at their conference on human settlements, which is where we live, by the way. If you think you live in a city, it's either a transit village or a human settlement, according to the United Nations. They said land cannot be treated as an ordinary asset, controlled by individuals as subject to the pressures and inefficiencies of the market. Oh no. Private land ownership is the principal instrument of the accumulation of wealth, and therefore it contributes to social injustice. Public control. She's saying if you own property, that's socially injustice because you have more than somebody else. That's what she's saying, that the United Nations land policy is saying. Of land is therefore indispensable. Public control of land use. This is the goal, to take land out of private ownership and move it into control by the government. If you have doubts about communitarian law in the United States, you look no further than the 2005 Supreme Court decision, the Kelo decision. And what that did not, some people think that gave government the right to take your property and give it to you. No, that already existed under redevelopment. What the Kelo decision did was it redefined public use. Under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution, we're guaranteed the right of just compensation when our land is taken for public use by our government, right? Mm-hmm. Well, public use, it's a road, we think we know what a public use is. No, the Supreme Court changed it to anything that makes more money for your municipality is considered to be a public use. They changed the definition of the public use. The end justifies the means, and this is transferring land. So keep breathing, everybody. I want to share there's two more. We're almost there. This is, again, no compensation for property rights. And this is 213. So I love that I watched a video earlier today about, they were saying that Maui, it was somebody from Maui saying that they're not going to give up their land. So God bless them. I call it the no pay APA. The American Planning Association in Growing Smart Legislative Guidebook tells planners how not to compensate you for your property rights. That book is compiled. It's a compilation of some of the worst restrictions on property you have ever seen. And it's incremental. Well, we don't think we can pull this off quite yet, but we're going to try this one and we'll work up to it. Yeah, that's like the frog in the pot that they keep turning up the heat. They keep trying different angles. What's going to work? And how can we take this person's land
for free. Like the governor of Hawaii saying, I'm looking for ways for the state to acquire the land in Maui. Like, first of all, how dare he say that? And now I heard that the video is taken down, but I actually have it on my videos because anyway, that, you know, these people have had their whole nation taken from them, and now their personal property is on the line. So we're going to be holding that we are strong and we can get through this, because we can, but we have to get through it together. Next part is okay, I already did that one. Okay, what can we do? And this is 2249. So it's back here, 2249. I'll do it 47.
We need to call a halt to this. We're doing it all across the nation. People are standing up, speaking out across the country. Legislators, I speak to many, many elected officials.
Ah, sorry, I'll do a screen share. Here we go.
And all of them say, what can we do? We all need to get together. People who have ideas for what to do need to get those ideas out there. I don't have the answer. The answer that I say is that we need critical mass. We need more and more people to understand what's going on so that we can bring pressure to bear on our legislators, because those legislators who are not here today, who don't understand what is going on, those people need to be made aware. And then they need to know that if they are not on board with this and they are not fighting this, the people are going to take them out of office. This is what is happening. This is a huge movement. It's a true grassroots movement. And you won't read about it on the paper, but it is there and it's growing all the time. I crisscrossed the nation. It's my third time on the East Coast in the last 4 weeks. All over the country, it is happening everywhere. Larger and larger and larger groups are becoming aware of this. So,
okay, so I just wanted to stop share with that. So what we can do, again, we have to contact our legislative body, and I'm on the fence with this because I keep going, Michelle, this whole thing is, this is U.S. is an incorporation. It's incorporated. It's actually what we think of as the United States is actually a corporation. It's not what our forefathers fought for, and that's shown many, many times when, especially in Hawaii, when we have 8,000 people that say no vaccine passport, they put it through. We have 700 people say no central bank digital currency, 0 are supporting it, 0, and they put it through. So what can we do? That's why I did a call out. Sheriffs, constitutional lawyers, at the time it was fire investigators, going to Maui. As I don't have the answers. That's why I'm also doing prayers, because I really feel coming together, standing up for our freedom, standing up for our rights is really important. And then also trusting in a higher power, because so we have left, and we are really, really powerful beings. And so I'm not almost done. So we have one more video, and I'm going to do a screen share and do one more video for you guys. And then we're going to be complete, and we will do a prayer, because that is the power we do have. And it is super, super important. And when you feel that frequency higher, oh, it feels so much better. So 1306. Oops, 1309, 13. Okay, where are you? Sorry, let me go over here and let me come back. 1306, there we go.
demolition of dams, wire dams, hydroelectric dam, big monster that generate clean energy. You're also, you've got natural gas, natural gas users, but you're finding that climate action plans, they are actually planning to phase out gas plants as well, so that they
Oh, sorry. Okay, for 1450 is this is, oh, there's 2 more. So 2 left, you guys. Hold on. 1450. Yeah. Yeah, that's why they're pushing these electric cars. And I've been telling people, if you get electric car and the grid goes down, you're not going anywhere. Plus, electric cars are more expensive and they actually damage the environment more, and they're actually toxic to the people who are mining cobalt and the different batteries. And they're usually mining them in poverty-stricken countries when these people are dying from mining these batteries, but they're doing it to support their families because of the pay, which is a whole nother topic. Okay, so last one. So this is just something I was going to share because this was a question that one of the legislative people asked, or actually said. When you have people on top of each other, like they want to do the 5-story houses and the workforce housing that our Hawaii governor has said that they're going to be doing in Maui, which they are not. I do not see that. I am not putting that out there. But they're saying there'll be more deaths by natural causes because people will be closer together and more, in my opinion, it's more toxic. Not that you get a virus from somebody, you get toxins, you get parasites, you get toxics and parasites and poisons that are in the air and in the water and in the food that people are eating. That I feel, I've been a fitness trainer for 27 years. That is what gets people sick. Toxins, parasites, and poisons. Toxins from the food you eat, parasites. People don't even realize that their body has can have a lot of parasites, especially in your gut, even in your brain and different areas. So I'm doing a detox. I do detoxes a lot. And if you're interested, click on the link in the description. So I want to do a meditation prayer. And those of you want to click off, you can click off, but I really invite you to stay because this is the power that we have. When we raise our frequency together, one, we feel better. It releases anxiety. Two, it actually helps to open up our mind to allow in new ideas. If you are in fear, worry, anger, frustration, or anxiety, like I was this morning, you close off, your mind closes off to learning new solutions for problems. You know, Einstein said you cannot solve a problem with the same mindset that created it. That's why we have to have a different frequency. You have to shift your frequency. So let's do that together right now. So I invite you just to close your eyes and just breathe into this human body and just notice whatever feeling you're having. For me, the anxiety is still there a little bit, and that's okay. That's okay because I just put my hands on my heart and I just tell myself, this is a normal human feeling. There's nothing bad about feeling this way. There's nothing right about feeling this way. It's just an experience I'm having in this normal human body. And it's okay that I feel this way. I breathe into this body. I relax into that breath. And just start to hear the sounds that are around you. I'm going to undo my mic so you guys can hear the birds. Maybe there might be some chickens. Hopefully not. Just breathe into that. Breathe into that, into this present moment. And we just start to feel our heart beating. Notice your heart beating. Notice how your body is breathing itself. Your body is breathing by itself. You're not plugged into a wall and you don't have batteries. And in this present moment, acknowledge where you are on the planet Earth. Acknowledge the sun is slowly going across the sky. Acknowledge that there are plants that are germinating in the soil. They haven't popped out of the soil yet, but they're there. and they're under pressure. They're in the darkness. And in divine timing, in their own divine timing, each one will pop out of the soil, growing toward the light. That's happening right now in this present moment. In this present moment, there are plants outside of your home giving off oxygen as they take in carbon dioxide, because that's what plants breathe. In this present moment, there are birds chirping in your area of the world. In this present moment, right here, right now, somewhere in the world, a turtle popped its head out of the water. Honeybees are landing on flowers. Squirrels are going across telephone poles. Somewhere in the world, a baby is laughing. Somewhere in the world, two people are hugging each other who care very deeply for each other. Right now, two people are holding hands somewhere in the world. Maybe it's you. Right now, in this present moment, someone is giving birth to their first baby and they're so excited. Somewhere in the world, someone's holding a puppy and laughing. Somewhere in the world right now, someone is tugging their child into bed, giving them a kiss on the forehead, knowing that their child is safe and healthy and vibrant. Right now, somewhere in the world, there are whales that are swimming in the ocean and dolphins jumping out and spinning. Someone's riding their horse, feeling so much joy and so much relief in their body. Somebody's exercising, feeling so much better than when they started. So in this present moment, give yourself permission to trust in this higher power that is running the show right now. Running the tides in the ocean, guiding the honeybees to their flower, beating your heart and breathing your body. And in this present moment, give yourself permission to just surrender and trust in this higher power. Starting to create this relationship of trust, of surrender, and of following your guided intuition. Your heart connects to this higher power. Again, it was the first organ created in your mother's womb was your heart. The heart actually knows things before the brain. So in this present moment, just giving yourself so much permission to just be you in this authentic present time. And trust what is yours to do. And knowing that you will always have the courage needed to do your kuleana. Whatever is yours to do. And everything else you just leave to this higher power. Just like we can't tell or guide the whales on their migration. We can't tell the sun when to come up and when to go down. We can't tell an acorn how to grow into an oak tree. We leave all that to higher self, to the source of all things that created the planet. We give this situation to source. And we do what is right and what is ours to do. We breathe into this present moment, knowing we are always guided, always protected, that we came here for a reason, that this whole thing is one big game for our spirit to have a human experience, because nobody truly ever dies. You cannot kill energy or consciousness. That's impossible. So we breathe into this human body that allows us to have this human experience in this present time. We wiggle our toes and our fingers. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Let me get my sleeves on. I think you can hear me better when I have this on. So what to do? What I'm going to do is, again, contact my legislative body and share this information. I'm going to call it Sustainable Cities, and that this Sustainable Cities, it takes away our freedom. So if you go to standtogetherhawaii.com, I will have just a little template that you can use. And please, I invite you to research on your own as well, and make your own letter. But I'll have a template, and then go to your legislative body, wherever you're at. You know, for Hawaii, I'm going to have all of our representatives there. Click on it and say no sustainable city, no to taking over property rights without proper compensation, or taking them over because the state thinks that they can acquire the land. You know, we have to tell them no. And what's great about this is it leaves a paper trail. It leaves a paper trail. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm feeling called to do right now. If you have an action for me, please send it to me and put action in the subject line. Email me at michelle@blossominnerwellness.com, michelle@blossominnerwellness.com, and put action in the subject, and I will open that first. I'll be looking for those. Thank you so much for people who write to me. I'm still going through all of them. If you are interested in detoxing, which I really highly recommend, if you don't do my detox, do some type of detox and cleanse, because we are filled with heavy metals. That's actually another whole video that I was going to do on combustible. Anyway, we're filled with heavy metals, lots, because of the chlorine, because of the air we breathing with the different chemtrails that are coming down, and because the soil is depleted, but it also has a lot of the chemtrails going to the soil. So we have to be cleansing our body on a regular basis, not only for heavy metals, but for parasites and other toxins. So the detox I'm doing is September 27th. Click on the link below. And in the link also is donating to the Maui Food Bank to support Lahaina victims, because they're over there, and they're going to be there for a long time. So sending you so much love and so much aloha on your journey. And we're going to get through this time one step at a time, and we do it together. Much aloha.